The world is full of mysteries. Some places appear so ordinary that it is difficult to guess their depth. But within them, unspoken questions have been hidden for centuries. With time, empires changed, people changed, but these places still stand silently encompassing their story. Signs etched on rocks, structures carved in mountains, and hints of civilizations under the Earth's surface. Every mark tells that our past was much more complex than our understanding. The search for these unseen mysteries takes us to those doors where history and mystery meet on the same path. So let us begin this mysterious journey. Number 1, Citadel. The mysterious ghost village settled on the peak of mountains. On the heights of the Caucasus Mountains, hidden somewhere between the clouds, is such a village where no one lives today. But every stone and every collapsed wall still leaves a faint mark of human life. This is Citadel, that ancient mountain town of Dagestan, which was once called the Village of Dead Souls. Located at an altitude of about 10,400 meters above sea level, this place was so remote and surrounded by difficult paths that people considered it a small kingdom separate from the world. The houses here were made of stone, attached to each other like beehive structures clinging to the slope of the mountain. The old people said that every family living here had its own separate cave, basement, storage chamber, and stone windows from which they could see the valleys spread far away. In Citadel, more than 100 families used to live once. Narrow streets of stone, stairs made on slopes, and a unique design made, considering the mountain itself as the center. All this indicates that people adorned life with great wisdom, even in this harsh area. There were no roads here. No horse carriages could reach. People used to go out of the village only by climbing on foot. Perhaps this is the reason it is also called the Machu Picchu of Dagestan. But time does not always stay with us. As easier paths opened in other valleys, people started slowly leaving Citadel. Farming was difficult. The water source was far, and life here was as beautiful as it was difficult. Slowly, the families decreased. Houses became empty, and the stone windows kept getting darker. The last resident was an elderly woman named Tanita, who lived alone here until about 2015. When she passed away, Citadel became completely desolate forever. Today, Citadel appears like a mysterious remnant. Broken houses, incomplete walls, silent windows all seem to look at the world with some unseen eye. When the wind passes between the stones, it feels as if some old voice is trying to call some bygone day. The sunlight falling on the mountain illuminates every part of the village, but the silence prevailing within it turns that light into a strange sadness too. Travelers who come here tell that while passing through this place, it feels as if the village is still breathing, as if its people are hidden somewhere nearby, but not visible. Citadel is not a tourist site but an emotional experience. As if you are stepping inside time and passing through those paths where once the laughter of children echoed, where smoke rose from stoves, and where people knew how to be happy in their small world. Every wall, every stone, and every collapsed roof here narrates a story, such a story which is not easy to understand, but feeling it is extremely deep. This is the feeling that turns Citadel into a mystery, a memory, and an eternal silence. Number 2, Ring of Brodgar. The ancient sacred site connected with lunar solar cycles. In the air of the Orkney Islands of Scotland, a strange silence floats, and in the midst of that silence stands the Ring of Brodgar. Such a megalithic circle that seeing it, it feels as if time itself has stopped here to guard some mystery. This massive stone circle is about 5,000 years old, meaning more ancient than the pyramids of Egypt. The cold winds of the sea spread far, green slopes, and massive standing stones between them all together create such a scene that appears like part of some other world. It is believed that when it was built, its diameter was about the size of a football field inside which a total of 60 standing stones were present. Today, many of them have fallen. But those that remain still stand with the same firmness, as if some unseen power has planted them in the earth. The real purpose of the Ring of Brodgar is still a puzzle today. Historians and archaeologists have done countless studies, but no conclusion has been considered final. Some believe that this place was a center of religious rituals. Some say seasonal festivals were celebrated here, and many experts consider it an astronomical observatory. The position of the stones and the gap between them indicates that lunar and solar cycles were observed here. On some days of the year, the rays of the sun pass through special angles, and it seems that this entire circle was made to understand this natural play of light. The people of that time considered nature as God, and it is possible that this site was a symbol between heaven and earth for them. Seeing this circle from the surrounding hills, an amazing symmetry appears. This is not just a group of stones, but a fine harmony with the landscape. It feels as if the mountains, sky, wind, and earth all have together created its construction. There are also many folktales prevalent around it. Local people say that this circle was once the dance site of giants who turned into stone as soon as the sun rose. Other stories say that ancient druids performed their secret rituals here, and at night, a different energy is felt in the air of this place. Even today, the experience of people reaching the Ring of Brodgar is the same. This place appears as calm as it is. It feels equally powerful. Standing between the stones, it feels as if the air has become heavy, as if you are inside some unseen pavilion where the voices of the past are slowly echoing. Thousands of years of rain, storm, and sea winds have eroded these stones, but could not erase them. This strength tells that its construction was not the work of ordinary people. Intelligence, calculation, and deep understanding of nature were involved in it. The Ring of Brodgar stands today as a question in front of the world. Was it a temple, a massive clock, or a sacred center of some lost culture, which had mastered the art of understanding every sign of nature? Its answer is perhaps buried within time itself. But the peace, thrill, and mystery that arises in the mind of those who see this place includes it among the world's most mysterious heritages. Number 3. Cab Speen. The ancient thousand lingas etched on the riverbed in the lap of the sacred river. Between the dense jungles of Cambodia, not far from Angkor Wat, such a place is hidden where the confluence of earth, water, and spirituality appears in an extraordinary form. This is Cab Speen, which is also called the River of a Thousand Lingas. Here, thousands of lingas etched on stones thousands of years ago. Figures of gods and goddesses and mythological symbols still appear alive under the water. The atmosphere of the jungle, the sound of flowing water, and the figures carved on the rocks together create such a scene that appears like some ancient spiritual world. Cab Speen is no ordinary sight. Here no excavation was done, but the flowing river in the midst of nature itself was used like a sacred scripture. It is believed that this site was built between the 11th to 13th century. When the Khmer Empire was at its peak, thousands of lingas engraved on the riverbed are considered symbols of Lord Shiva. The belief is that the flowing water passing over these sacred signs becomes empowered, and upon reaching the villages and fields below, makes the crops fertile. This is why local people also call it the sacred path of fertility. When travelers climb the jungle path and reach the edge of the river, slowly the signs engraved inside the flowing water start becoming visible. Somewhere rows of countless Shivalingas, somewhere the lying statue of Vishnu, somewhere figures of serpents, and somewhere lotus flowers. Every mark narrates a story. The river's stones are carved in such a way that the water flow continuously passes over them. Due to this, the sanctity of the symbols remains. This is a unique confluence of human skill and spiritual dedication. The most interesting thing here is that to carve these figures, the artisans had to divert the river's flow for some time. Dense jungle, slippery rocks, heat, and moisture. It was not easy to do this work amidst all this. Yet they etched thousands of symbols with such intricacy and uniformity that even today, they give the entire site the form of a natural temple. Seeing this site, it is felt that the sculptors of that time were not just artists but scientists, understanding nature, and seekers inspired by spiritual purpose. Cab Speen is not just art etched on stones, but a living spiritual path. The atmosphere here is filled with peace. Only the sound of water, rustling of trees, and somewhere far, the call of birds. It is said that standing here in the morning time, a different energy is felt in the atmosphere, as if the river is narrating the faint echo of its hidden secrets within. This place also strengthens this idea that the Khmer Empire was known not only for massive temples, but also for deep philosophy, connecting nature and spirituality. Even today, Caspian evokes the same wonder and respect in people as it must have evoked centuries ago. This place tells that ancient civilizations did not just know how to carve stones. They understood that harmony with nature is the real power of any culture. This is the reason that Caspian appears not as a river, but as a sacred message flowing in the stream of time, which is as alive today as it was on the day of its creation. Number 4, Caraquea. The ancient guardian sarcophagi standing on rocks. In the Amazonas region of Peru, on high-standing and almost impossible-looking rocky edges, some such stone statues stand that seeing them feels as if they are guarding some mystery between the sky and earth. This is Caraquea, the ancient sarcophagi made by the Chachapoya civilization, which local people call Peru Machos. These statues are considered 600 to 1200 years old, and the most amazing thing is that they are placed on such steep surfaces of the mountain where reaching even today is difficult. The mystery remains today that how did the ancient people take them to such height without modern equipment, and how did they balance them? These sarcophagi of Caraquea were not mere statues. These were the final resting places of great persons, community leaders, or warriors. The Chachapoya people believed that the soul attains freedom at heights. Therefore, they established their dead on the rocks above the earth, so that their souls remain alert always. These sarcophagi were made from a mixture of mud, grass, stones, and wood, on which human-like figures were etched. Long face, big eyes, and that steady gaze which appears to look at the mountains spread far away. Every sarcophagus is more than 2 meters high, and special signs are made on them with red, white, and yellow colors. This art was not only for beauty, but also held religious importance. There is a special triangular sign on the chest of these sarcophagi, which is considered a symbol of the power and honor of Chachapoya warriors. The special thing is that personal items were also kept with the human remains inside these sarcophagi. Clothes to wrap the body, jewelry, medicinal plants, and sometimes small weapons too. From this, it is known that they were prepared completely for the journey to the afterlife. The wind blows fast on the peaks of the mountains, and between it, these stone statues stand completely still. Time has broken many parts of them, some have even fallen. But those that remain are still steadfast in their mysterious vigil. Today, when any traveler passes through the winding paths of the mountains and reaches these sarcophagi, the first thing he feels is a strange silence, as if the entire valley respects the presence of these statues. The wind colliding with the stones produces a faint echo, and in that sound it feels as if some ancient whisper is embedded. The real mystery of Caraquea is not only that how these statues were made, but also why were they placed at such a place where reaching even today is risky? Was this a way of preservation, or placing sacred souls at heights was part of some religious ritual? The answer to these questions is perhaps hidden in the layers of time itself. But one thing is clear, that the Chachapoya civilization had amazing mastery in connecting nature, heights, and spirituality to each other. Caraquea still evokes the same feeling today. A silent vigil, an ancient warning, and such a mystery which is hidden in the heights of the mountains. This place tells that humans wrote their stories not only on the ground, but also closer to the sky in history. Number 5. Mara Salt Mines. The millennia-old salt empire settled on the slopes of mountains. In the hills of Cusco region in Peru, such a scene is found spread on the slopes of a narrow valley that seeing it, it feels as if someone has etched countless white and golden square grooves on the skin of the mountain. This is the Mara Salt Mines, a massive network of thousands of small salt pools, which local people call Salineras de Maras. This site has been running since ancient times, and its beginning is considered even before the Inca Empire. This miracle is such a confluence of nature and human skill that even today it appears almost the same as it must have appeared hundreds of years ago. The most unique thing about Mara is that here the source of salt is not the sea, but a natural salty spring emerging from inside the mountains. This salty water flows through the cracks of the mountain and then is taken to hundreds, thousands of pools through human-made narrow canals. Every pool belongs to the ownership of one family, and the process from filling water to drying is handled with attention and precision. As soon as the water evaporates, white salt layers start emerging. First light pink, then thick white, then crystal-like thick. This process is not only beautiful, but also a symbol of deep harmony with nature. The entire structure of these pools appears like a mountainous theater, where every level is connected to the previous level. All together form a massive net which shines in sunlight and from afar appears like mines of gold and silver. Scientists believe that Mara's salt is extremely pure because the salty spring passes through underground minerals, and these very minerals give salt its unique properties. In the time of the empire, this salt was used not only in food items, but also for medicinal, religious, and bargaining purposes. But the real identity of Mara is not its construction or salty water, but its culture and tradition. The families working here have been dependent on this salt for generations, for centuries. They consider salt not just a resource, but a blessing. Cleaning of every pool, repair of soil, flow of water, and salt harvest all are done in traditional ways. It's without any modern machinery. The families believe that this sacred water is a gift of gods, and it should be handled with respect. The atmosphere of Mara salt mines is also deep and unique. It's all around tall mountains, their midst silently spread pools, and the faint smell of salt floating in the air. The combination of all this creates such a scene that appears like the living memory of some ancient civilization. When the sun starts setting, the white surface of the pools turns into golden shine, and the entire area seems like part of some sacred ritual. Today, even if the world has changed in Mara salt mines, time seems to have stopped. Every layer, every crystal, every pool here narrates the story of centuries-old labor and tradition. This place tells that civilizations, no matter how much they advance, the ancient harmony created by human hands with nature never gets lost. It keeps shining for centuries on the slopes of mountains like this. Number 6. Meru Pyramids. The forgotten heritage of the Kush Empire, hidden in the desert. In the Nubian desert of Sudan, amidst scorching winds and golden sand, suddenly dozens of pointed structures emerge. This is the Meru Pyramids. That mysterious heritage of the Kush Empire which once established its power and splendor on the southern banks of the Nile River. Compared to the pyramids of Egypt, these are smaller in size. But their slopes are extremely steep and angles sharper, due to which their form appears completely different and more otherworldly. Centuries ago, this area used to be the final resting place of kings, queens, and high nobles. But today, here only wind, sand, and the echo of the old civilization remains. The Kush Empire, which ruled this part of Africa for about 1,000 years, was deeply influenced by Egypt in its culture, art, and architecture. But their style of building pyramids was completely unique. The kings and rulers of Meru chose tall, thin pyramids as their tombs and their slopes appear inclined towards the sun. In front of each structure, there was a small chapel where worship was done for the dead. The pictures inscribed on the walls of these chapels tell kings standing in front of gods, participating in rituals, or shown with symbols of their power. But the most tragic chapter of this civilization was written in 1834, when the Italian treasure hunter Giuseppe Ferlini came in search of treasures in these pyramids. In search of gold and gems, he blew off the tops of many pyramids. He found some treasures too, but his greed permanently damaged countless structures. Even today, many pyramids appear half-broken. The desert sand seems to be applying balm on their wounds, yet the stories hidden within them have not completely ended. It is ironic that the civilization which stood for thousands of years was badly affected by the explosive ambition of one outsider. Meru was not just the resting place of kings. It was also a prosperous capital. This was the land where iron was smelted. Metal art was at its peak and trade was spread far and wide. Despite being settled in the midst of the desert, the technology and culture of the Kush Empire stood equal to Egypt, sometimes even ahead. But time, changing trade routes, paths, and political changes left this city alone. Slowly, people left from here and took their place the silences of the desert. Today, when any traveler reaches Meru, it feels as if he has entered some wandering era. These pyramids spread between sand dunes, sometimes red, sometimes golden, sometimes light brown appear. The sunlight changes their color. The winds colliding with these structures produce a slow echo, which is heard less, but felt more. There is no noise around, no crowd, no modern buildings. Just the splendor of a bygone empire and its mysteries, which still breathe buried in the layers of sand. The Meru Pyramids remind us that the history of the world was not written only by Egypt, Greece, or Rome. There was also such an empire in the southern valley of the Nile which gave unique forms to the concepts of death and life in its style. When a traveler stands near these pyramids and breathes the air of the desert, he understands that civilizations do not get erased. They just hide their mysteries and merge with the sand to leave an eternal mark on this earth forever. Number 7. Malinak, the secret initiation site of warriors carved in rocks. Hidden in the hills of Mexico, Malinak is such a place about which the more is known, the more layers of mystery keep opening. Dense jungle, steep climb, and suddenly emerging that unique stone temple on the peak of the mountain itself indicates that this place was not ordinary but the birthplace of war heroes. Such a sacred complex where entry was allowed only to the bravest, the most chosen warriors. The main temple of Malinalco, which is called monolithic structure, is completely made by carving a single massive stone, hollowing such a large rock from inside, without modern tools, making pillars, stairs, carving entrances, and figures on the walls. This all in itself is an impossible feat achieved 600 years ago. The most shocking thing is that the Aztec Empire used this site as a secret training and initiation center. Here, eagle and jaguar warriors, meaning the most powerful, most honored soldiers of the empire, used to take their final initiation. The entrance gate of the main chamber is snake-shaped, and the sacred symbols engraved on the walls made this place a spiritual arena, where every step was connected with ritual. It is believed that during the initiation ceremony, the warriors had to go through trials, after which they were given symbolic teachings connected with the world of death and afterlife. The entrance gate of the temple is like the open mouth of a massive Quetzalcoatl feathered serpent. This is not just architectural art, but a message that whoever enters inside takes rebirth in a spiritual form. The circular walls inside the chamber and the central place indicate that dance rituals and teachings were done in the symbol of circular energy here. On some walls, such signs are visible, which are considered symbols of sun, power, and warriors' victory. The selection of Malinalco was also not a coincidence. To reach the peak, there is a long, tiring climb. As if the path itself is the examination of warriors, dense jungle, calm mountains, and echo of wind give this place an otherworldly atmosphere. The Aztecs believed that height takes closer to gods, and this is the reason this temple was carved hundreds of meters above the valley. From here, the view of the entire area is visible, which was important from both security and spiritual perspectives. But there's another question behind this site which is still unsolved today. After all, why did the Aztecs choose such a risky and difficult place? Jungle, steep rocks, dangerous paths, yet they carved the entire temple by cutting a single stone. According to experts, the reason was that this place creates a sacred triangle by combining natural energy, visibility, and religious importance. Standing here, it feels as if the wind also narrates the stories of ancient wars and rituals. Today, Malinalco is calm. It's only wind, mountains, and breaths of history. But when any traveler enters this stone temple, he feels that he is not standing in any ordinary archaeological site, but in the sacred shadow of those warriors who dedicated their courage, faith, and life here centuries ago. This place tells that some mysteries are hidden not in stones, but in the souls residing in them. Number 8. Panara, the city of ancient Lycian souls hanging in rocks. In the southwestern mountains of Turkey, where clouds often pass colliding with rocks, there suddenly appears such a city which seems hanging in the air. This is Panara, one of the most mysterious and beautiful cities of the Lycian Empire. The carving of hundreds of tombs on the straight, steep walls of the mountain in such a way that they appear like roofs from afar. This in itself is such a sight that takes any traveler back in time. Here everything is carved in rocks. It's houses, temples, tombs, and those sacred structures which show the deepest form of the Lycians' beliefs about death and afterlife. The Lycian people believe that the soul attains freedom at height. Therefore, their most prestigious tombs were made not below, but on the most difficult and steep surfaces of the mountain. This tradition is beyond any practical thinking, because to make these tombs, the artisans had to work hanging on the surface of the rock with ropes and wooden supports. Imagine at that time there were no machines, no modern technology, yet they carved hundreds of tombs at that height where reaching even today is difficult. These were not just tombs, but sacred gates for souls, where the dead met their gods. Panara city is not famous only for its tombs. It was also a major political, religious, and cultural center. The name of the city is also interesting. According to local legends, the meaning of Panara is round mountain or round fort because the hill here appears naturally circular. In the city, there are also remnants of agora, theater, and temples, which tell that Panara must have been very lively and prosperous once. Its theater is still standing with more than half parts safe today. The staircase-like rows of sitting are open directly towards the jungle and mountains, and when the wind passes, it feels as if the dialogues from centuries ago are echoing again. The most unique feature of this city is its honeycomb necropolis, meaning tombs appearing like beehives carved in stone. These tombs are at such height that the viewer naturally asks how was reached to them after all. Till today, no definite answer to this question has been found. Some experts say that tall wooden scaffolds must have been made, while others believe that natural cracks were used by the artisans. But seeing their number and precision, this is still an engineering puzzle today. Panara was also a natural shelter site. Dense jungle, rock caves, and half-ruins temples make it almost otherworldly. As evening falls, the shadows of the mountains fall on the tombs, and the entire area sinks into a mysterious peace. Some local people still believe that the souls sleeping in these tombs send whispers in the wind of the mountain at night, meaning the old Lycian heritage has not become completely silent yet. Today, Panara is a quiet and almost forgotten city, away from crowds, separate from modern life. But the travelers who reach here feel that they have come not to any ordinary archaeological site, but to the city of those souls whose story is inscribed in the rocks. Panara reminds us that the real power of ancient civilizations was not only in their buildings, but in that spirit which inspired them to leave marks even on impossible heights. That's all for today's video. These mysterious sites of the world remind us again and again that our Earth is not just a book of geography, it is a living collection of time, culture, and countless unknown mysteries. Every ruin, every stone, every rock encompasses the breaths of some bygone civilization.